Sometimes I just insult the market for like 30 minutes. Very foolish pair. You don't bring it. Very stupid nonsense. So at the end of the day, it's what it is. Because as much as we don't like to lose money, we don't also like to leave money on the table. So it has an emotional effect that you cannot totally throw away. Except somehow you found a way around that. Okay, as I'm big on trading psychology, but you cannot necessarily kill certain emotions. You just manage them better. So I may just laugh about it and insult the market, but I'll still come back for the next setup if I have to.
I don't know. I would love to ask you some few questions, which people community as well. Looking back, what is your turning point that made your trading consistently and profitable?
For me, I think is number one, realizing that trading is not a sprint; it's a marathon. That I'll be here for a while. I'll be here for a long while. Okay, a lot of people want to make profits today. They want to get into trading today and make profits today. They are excited about the journey, and then they are overwhelmed by that excitement. So they have refused to see the journey as a process. If there is a process, it means there are stages to the journey. There are stages where you would have to learn. There are stages where you have to practice what you have learned. There are stages where you have to implement what you have practiced. Okay, so putting trading into a perspective and then getting to see that it is a process. And I had to take my time to put certain things into play and aim towards consistency instead of perfection. A lot of people are looking for perfect trades. They want perfect entries, they want perfect results, they want clean sheets on their trading history, but it never happens like that in real time. So I think the starting point for me was finding the system that works for me and then being able to view my trading as a journey. Yeah, that was what it did for me.
Exactly, finding the system that works for you, because I think what actually changed my whole concept of trading is by coming across MSNR, which it was the one as well. Like that's why I say it's one like 80% impacted because through me learning MSNR, I was able to learn so many other things alongside which I easily understand also. Let's move to the next question. Like what is one of the trading principles you still follow no matter how the market involves?
Risk management is what ensures that you can come back tomorrow. I don't believe in go hard or go home, because some people actually go home and then they are unable to come back outside. So I want to ensure that I am actively available in the field to play. Okay, so I prioritize risk management till tomorrow, and then position sizing till tomorrow, and then what's the word? I throw my positions till tomorrow. I have people who talk about either stop loss or take profit. They don't use break even. That's not my style. I don't like to leave money on the table. So risk management has been principle for me. Yeah.
So it gets really important risk management. In order for you to remain still like trading Forex in the game, you must have cash. And if there's no cash, you're out of the game. So you get, because you're there like seeing your setup and you're looking at your setup because you cannot do anything.
Yeah, you're really excited that this is a setup. You can't do anything about the setup.
So risk management very important. So third question here: which mistake do you still experience while trading?
I think we cannot totally eradicate fear in trading. We cannot totally eradicate the psychological effect of trading. Sometimes I take certain positions and I still doubt the position. Okay, because I believe I'm human. So there's positions you take and then you have double mind. What if it goes against you? That's why risk management is also very important. And I remind myself that if it goes against me, I'm just risking 2% or 3% of the total account size, and then it's comforting. So I won't call it a mistake, but I think it's something that I still do. But the only difference is before, when we see a position and we are scared, we chicken out. But now, even if we are scared, we still click the buy or the sell button. So that's something that's changed over time. But fear and self-doubt is still something that I experience from time to time. Nobody likes to lose money.
Exactly.
Never gets comfortable.
So I don't know, let me just slip in this question. Like, let me say for example you take a trade and you are kind of sure that let me say example you take a GU trade, a set trade for example, and you're so 100% sure that, let me see, like sure based on what you're saying that this level is supposed to hold, and maybe you refine your stop loss by you not covering the full loss to take that particular trade. And market is getting close to your stop loss. I don't know, do you still adjust your stop loss to let me say for example you want to just like let me say $100 on that particular trade, and you started adjusting your stop loss, and more you adjust your stop loss, it's increasing to $20, just like that.
So there's something that one of those things is, one of the things I don't do again is what you have just talked about. So what I can do with that is, if I have a position that I think it's going to be A plus setup, an A plus setup, and I still have a zone below that price may possibly reach for, if I have 5 trades to take that day based on my trading rules, I just give 2 to that particular setup. So I put the first entry on the main area where I expect to be high probability. I set a pending order on where price could possibly come back to retest. So what happens is that I'm safe. If it gets to this one, it hits the stop loss, it takes it out, it triggers my second option, which is still within the zone. If that one picks and it moves, it covers up for the loss that I made on the first one, and still gets to give me a level of profit. Okay, but I do not actually extend my stop loss sizing beyond that now, except I pre-plan it. That is impulsive trading. So I try as much as I can to avoid impulsive trading. It messes me up.
So another question. Still, let me say for example, you just open your chart and you just see your setup. Like our market is already, let me say like 0.1. Let's say like 0.5 pip already close to your entry. Like where you love taking your trade, and you do actually analyze the market, but you just open chart, you saw your setup. Our market just already at your entry. Will you take that trade?
Fear of missing out. I will not take that trade. What I will do is I will wait for a confirmation setup. So price has come to the zone where it's supposed to buy from. Every setup has a follow up. 80% of the setups that I take have a follow up. So if price comes to the zone, except there's a fundamental, I don't expect price to aggressively run away from the zone. I would see a rejection that bets a new breakout that should bet a pullback. So I may not join the first pause, but no sense in the second or the third. Okay, understanding that opportunities do not come but once in trading. Opportunities come every hour, every session, every day. Just keep you at ease. Okay, so if I miss out on this setup, I may get in on the follow up, or I may get in a New York session for a different setup, and it's jiggy like that.
So, but how do you feel maybe after, let's for example, after you've gotten your breakout and maybe you're waiting for a pullback to join that particular trade and the market just keep on skyrocketing, like, how do you feel? Do you regret like,
so most times I just insult the market for like 30 minutes. Very foolish pair. You don't believe it. Very stupid nonsense. So at the end of the day, it's what it is. Because as much as we don't like to lose money, we don't also like to leave money on the table. So it has an emotional effect that you cannot totally throw away, except somehow you found a way around that. Okay, as I'm big on trading psychology, but you cannot necessarily kill certain emotions. You just manage them better. So I may just laugh about it and insult the market, but I'll still come back for the next setup if I have to.
Okay, so still on this same thing, like I think there was one time actually like, is it 4 years ago, probably 3 years ago, there was one popular Forex trader which like there was one setup, one pair like that, so it was waiting, according to him, he was waiting for like months like that, so and market finally get to that particular level and it triggered a set trade, and it came online, was while being like swing trading. This market is going from year to year, like it's already in trade, I don't make a lot of money. Surprisingly, the next day or the next 2 days, market came back, like take it, like it's stop loss, still continuing going up. So I don't know, I would love to ask that maybe you see your setup that you are sure of, like this is an A setup, like you are so confident on that setup, and you came on side and post that this market is from year to year, and surprisingly the next day market came back and hit a stop loss, like you still.
I tell my guys, every setup is a supposition. Price is supposed to, price must not. But based on the system that I trade, I expect that price is supposed to move a kind of way. So in my book, I just have setups, and I have types of setups that I like to take. And those setups are not categorized in A plus and B plus or B setup or C setup. I don't do that. Okay. So I never expect that much from any zone. If I really know that a zone will deliver that kind of thing, I will take loan from all my friends and put it in that position. Yeah, but I know that every setup is a supposition. A supposition means it is subject to change. Anything can happen based on what happens in the market in the scheme of things that affects my position at the time. So I try as much as I can to maintain the fact that trading will always be a business of probability, and I guard that probability again with risk management. So I'm never in that position. I expect the price will buy, but price must not buy. The expectation.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I don't know, how do you personally handle drawdown without losing confidence?
Okay, sometimes it gets to me. It gets to me, especially if you're on a losing streak. It gets to you sometimes, but that's why journaling is important. If you journal, I go back to my journal and I review that for the past how many months this same setup, this same system has given me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wins. Okay, so this drawdown in this month does not define me as a trader. It does not define the efficiency of the system as well. The thing with people and drawdowns, handling drawdown, why it affects their psychology so bad is because they have brought in their ego into the market, and then they have believed that it is impossible for the market to go against them. You don't own the market. Your duty is to trade the instructions of the system that you have chosen. So you cannot make profit. It's not your duty to make profit. Your duty is to trade a system. The market converts your activities on that system, wins and losses distributed randomly to series of trades, to either overall wins or overall losses. So what you want to do is understanding that a particular trade or a set of trades does not judge your trading plan or your trading system. So I have a long-term set, I have a short-term set, okay, and then I have a basic set. I have not taken a trade until I take 10 trades. I do not look at my performance on a trade until I've taken 10 trades. I count every 10 trades as one. Okay, so in a set of 10, what is my performance? How many did I win? 3? If I win 3, that's a 30% win rate. If I reach the reward ratio, I will still make profit. If I win 5, it's a 50% win rate. If I win 8 or 10, as the case may be. Okay, but I try as much as I can to always reflect on the good things I have done with that system and remind myself that a small loss at the time does not automatically make things a problem.
So which advice can you give for let me see, is it a newbie or even people that already are part of trading ever since, whereby they set a rules.
Yeah.
And let's say for example, the rules they set is that okay, what their target is minimum of 1:3.
Yeah.
And based on the calculation, they believe that even if they have like 6 loss, 4 wins can cover all the loss and still be on profit.
Yeah.
But immediately they started having the first loss, second loss, third loss, fourth loss, everything has changed. Even the thing that they are already like set up that this is what they don't follow, believing that 4 wins alone like cover the loss, and but eventually there's 3-3-3, 4-3, like loss. They start seeing themselves doing something that they don't actually plan.
The strength of the market is the advantage the market has over you because you are human and you have emotions. So if you must be able to defeat the market, you must handle that weakness that the market sees. And the only way to do that is to react regardless, following the dictates of your system regardless of, if you follow an account, let's say $1,000, right? And you're risking 1% per trade. You have not done anything bad. Nothing bad has happened until the account goes to zero, right? So if you're risking 1% per trade and then you lost 10 trades in a row, it means you still have 90 more trades. If you're risking 2% per trade and you lost 10 trades in a row, it means you've lost only 20% of that account size. So people lose 10% and then begin to feel bad about themselves, and then emotion steps in. Emotion will always take away logic. And then if you take out logic, it means you're back to emotional trading. Emotional trading will deviate you from the strategy that you trade because the strategy is objective. If you see this, do that. If you see that, do this. Once you leave that position, you begin to look for a way to make back your losses. That's not why you're trading. You're not trading to recover your losses. You are trading so that you can, by the help of the system that you trade, make profits. So even if you are 20% down on your account size, your goal is not to make back your losses. Your goal is still to make profits. So see the new trade you are taking as though it's your first trade for the day. It's something you must be able to handle psychologically. Until you get to that point where, regardless of how you feel, that your emotions does not automatically change your strategy, then you're ready to begin to make progress with trading. Okay? So it's a gradual phase, but it's something that you can deliberately work yourself.
All right. A quick one. Let me say, for example, like still on the same of emotional eating, like someone that I'll be tying like for years, like 10 years, 15 years, and still find himself being unprofitable based on they cannot control himself. They make a statement that trading is not for everybody. Yeah. So is it that such people should just quit and just go and focus on that, or
go ahead.
You should just keep on trying?
Now, two things are possible. I like to be as sincere as I can. Number one, it's either you've not gotten access to the right knowledge, or number two, indeed, trading is not for you. I cannot join the military, no matter how much I love the military. Because it gets us at the day where they should go and will start to cry. That's my personality. Okay, personality traits should also be examined. How do you deal with financial risk? Do you break down every time you understand your personality and how it works for you? If you know indeed that you do not have the balls to handle this kind of financial stress, then find something else you are doing that takes the weight from trading. And then you can now handle trading slowly, one step at a time, until you can build confidence. One of the things that will help you build confidence is if you have an extra source of income. Then it becomes very easy for you to learn trading because you're not putting all of your expectations and financial needs on the market. So if you are that kind of a person, number one, find something that works for you. Number two, get another job that pays you. So trading becomes something that you're working towards achieving. You'll see how much pressure you ease of yourself and how much easier it now becomes for you to learn to trade. If you have tried all of this and it does not work, there are lots of other ways to make money. When people reach out to me, they say, I want to learn, I want to make trading, I want to make how much? I say, what is your plan? You want to make this money trading, or you want to make this money? So if trading does not work for you, will you be sincere to yourself to say my personality does not allow this? Maybe for now, maybe I will grow into that person that can manage this. Let me try Web3, or let me try. At the end of the day, the goal is making progress, so don't die.
But sorry to cut it short. But there are some people whereby they didn't know that this thing is not working for them. I don't know, maybe is it that trading is kind of spiritual, in the sense that once you just involve to become a problem, or to focus that same attention for something different, become an issue. I don't know.
The same thing is possible in people who have seen a level of light with gambling, or Nigeria bet, or any of that. You know, they ever agree say it's enough to drop their money, right? So what you must do in that kind of a situation, trading is not spiritual. It's not a gift of the spirit. As Christians, we put God in everything we do, which is good. But trading is not a spiritual gift, it's a skill. It means that you can learn it. The same way, soccer is a skill. Do we have people who are talented players? Yes, but there are people who learn to play football. Okay, and then by participation and activity, you have grown in the craft. The same is applicable to trading.
Sorry, when I mean like spiritual, in the sense that like when you have joined, so you can't go out. So you're like not something physical. You're like
it's not spiritual. It's psychological. You are reminding yourself, all of this time I have wasted on this thing. You mean I should, because something will always tell you that don't worry, keep going. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. And sincerely, for some people, whether you like it or not everybody will make money trading. If you have checked yourself and you see that you have tried what you can try, if you know there's a.
Do you believe that psychology outweighs technical in long-term run?
I think when you find your system in trading, once you find your edge in trading, you realize that indeed trading is more of a psychological game than the technical. because the actual battle now becomes between you and your mind, between you and your self-doubt, between you and your fears, between you and your lack of confidence. So yes, trading is a psychological business long term, especially for traders who has already found their edge.
Nice one. So I don't know, how often do you review and adjust your strategy?
Except there is a need to. I've not adjusted my strategy in the past 2 years, I think. I've not seen a need to. Okay, I may adjust what my targets would be like depending on the nature of the market. So instead of looking for 5 hours, I may begin to look for 3 hours because the market is choppy and then we are not having a clear trend, but not actually the strategy itself. Although the risk to reward is still part of the strategy, but yeah.
No, let me just shift in this question. Like what you said, let's say for example you have found your system or you have found your strategy, right? Okay, your strategy state that at least you must target at least minimum of 1:3 based on what you have practiced.
Yeah.
And let me see, solidly maybe you started like maybe placing trade and you hardly get out 1:3. You have gotten that 1:3 before, but maybe on a particular motor, a particular like you hardly got that 1:3. Is it that the system has failed, or is it that you're not a good trader? Like
every strategy would work better under certain market conditions. It is important that the trader understand what market conditions supports best the strategy that he or she trades. Like the system that I trade work better in a trending market, will not do too well in a consolidating market. Some systems will work better in a consolidating market, will not do better in a trending market. So understand the nature of the markets that fits your system, so that when you are out of that market condition, you know, okay, I'm not having the usual risk to reward because market is not trending, market is ranging, and you just adjust your what's it called, risk to reward to fit that, not necessarily having to change your system.
all right, let's just line up here. So I don't know which advice can you give for those people that they are new to trading or want to embark into trading, like want to join these financial analysts. Like which advice can you give to them? Like
I would say get the right information, get specific knowledge. Don't chase so much with the crowd. Okay, the fact that the thing is popular does not mean to work for you. Find something that is easier for you to understand and implement. Then be willing to give trading the time that it deserves. It's a process, so be willing to do the process. In the process, you will face losses, you will face self-doubt, you will face lack of confidence, you will face sleepless nights, you will face long study time. All of that is natural with the environment that we find ourselves here in trading. So it's important that you know what you're going into, and then be willing to give it time. Everything gets better with time. While you get to the point, or when you get to the point when you begin to make profits, it's important that you now begin to consider diversification. The goal is always to have multiple sources of income. So don't bury your head in the sands of wanting to just be a trader. Like I was talking earlier, there are lots of other opportunities even in the industry. So find good information, have a teacher, role model, or mentor, someone you can assess however that works for you. And then give it time. When you get there, be willing to diversify. That's my advice.
all right, so for me, I also say that always do what you love, so that even though maybe you're not seeing the money, you keep on doing it.
Yeah.
So don't like you want to do this thing because Mr. A is doing it and you just want to. So always see that okay, there's a reason behind it apart from just money. Even though maybe the end goal is money, but
Yeah.
there just be another reason.
Yeah.
So
It was a nice one.
nice one, boss.
Nice one.
Thanks for your time.
Looking forward to seeing you next time you're in the city.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome, man. Thank you.